I want to die, but I also want things to change. I want to die, but I also want things to change. I need things to change. This is exhausting. I've been trying to record a video. I just I just can't. Like, it's so weird because even if I spend 12 hours on a job shift or something like that, it still wouldn't have the same amount of impact as just recording like a simple YouTube video where I just talk about like what I actually care about in life. Very strange. Very strange. I don't feel comfortable existing. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Like, from everything from like consuming food, like having to consume freshly deceased organisms in order to survive. Like, it's not fair, and then any justification saying it's fair is just mental gymnastics, which is okay. Like, everybody does mental gymnastics, including me, especially me. But that's also why I hate living, is because like fuck that shit. Like, fuck that we have to do that. So so if I want to die, like I literally want to crawl out of my skin because this world is disgusting, but I also want to like live and like make an impact. Like, what the fuck? It's like those two things just competing. Um I often fantasize about like how great it would be just to like give up and just like pursue strictly pleasure. Like, that would be really good, I think. It's a good idea. I can see why people do it at the very least. Um, it's not the right thing to do. Like, fuck. Like, it's not the right thing to do because I mean, at every turn, like, your pleasure, like, it almost always seems to come at the cost of somebody else or something else, and that is the nature of things, and that's why I want to die. Like, fuck that shit. Fuck that. Like, that's unfair. That's tyrannical. Like, life itself is tyrannical. And so when I begin to feel like life itself is the problem, that creates an even deeper problem. But I felt the gentleness of life. So I'm just trying to figure out how to let that back in. Like, the gentleness of life, that like makes it good. Like, when you strip away all the bullshit, like all the weird fucking confusion, what's left? I don't know. I don't know what I want to do now. I don't know. It's just back and forth. It's just back and forth over and over again. Do you want to see the art I made? I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. It's like pretty cool. I kind of like it. Just make it out of cardboard and stuff. It's really fun. Like, just make it out of cardboard. Just glue stuff together. And you can put whatever you want in it. Like, kind of. Depending on how skilled you are. I'm not very skilled at this kind of stuff, but it's still fun. That's the gentleness, though. That's the good stuff in life. I don't know what I want to talk about. Nobody on Earth will watch this. The reason I know that is because of how slow I'm talking, as well as the subject matter. First of all, it's an intense subject matter. I've seen people just kind of love to fucking shut themselves off to content like this, which is totally understandable. I mean, who really consumes content like this? Like, I'm literally like the nature of my channel is literally just talking about every problem on Earth all at once. Of course you'd want to not like watch that all the way through. Some people have. I'm pretty confident that this video will get nobody, but again, the point is to try. The point is to try. The point on this channel, the point with this project, everything I do is to try. Because if I try and I be honest, I will get rewarded for it. Now, it has been said that America or something or somebody rewards corruptness, selfishness, and like Machiavellian type attitudes towards life. Like, just step on others to get whatever you want. That's been said, but I mean, if you know me at all, like you know that I'm just gonna be like, nope. Like whether or not that's true, like I reject it as something that we need to believe in going forward. You know. So like at a certain point, you get so overwhelmed with evil that you're just like, nope, and you just shut it out completely. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I want to die. I want to die for many reasons. Like I want it to be over, or at the very least I want suffering to be over. And then on the other hand, like I really do want to make a difference, and that's why I'm recording the video. That's why I've written a lot. I've written a lot these past couple days. I'm currently writing about my entire experience being online, and the chaos that I have encountered. I don't even know how to explain it. But imagine getting into the most toxic communities and staying in them for years and making friends online, and it just and then imagining how that would consume your life and then affect your life for years and years to come. That's what it is, and it's very interesting. But yeah, this video was not interesting, however. I had to put I had to put something else in front of where it's showing my face on the screen so that I don't look at my face and I don't get distracted, right? Because like when people do stuff like record videos or like write or something, like there's so many barriers to entry to doing those things. There's so much friction. Have you heard of that? Like, I don't know. Like there's so many barriers to entry. Like it's hard to like do good habits and stuff. But yeah, I reject the bullshit in the world. I'm gonna reject it more. I need more people to like surround myself with that share these ideas. I hate discrediting the things that I believe in into just the word like ideas. Like no, it's not ideas. It's like an entire worldview. It's an entire system of thought that has been like pushed against, tested, and like it really matters. So like some of my values are like honesty, like simplicity, sustainability. Like if you're gonna go through the world, like you might as well not contribute to waste, like piles and piles of waste more than any human should, right? So it's just things like that. Communication. But anyway, everything I do, every single action I take in life, pretty much at least 90% of it, 99%, I don't know how much exactly, but probably closer to 100% of it. It's meant to like make things better. It's meant to make this situation on here on Earth better, because even if life is good for someone else, it is unfortunately bad for someone else. And that alone is the tyranny, the tyrannical, evil, like garbage that like ruins life. And like I'm against that. And it's like, are you against it too? And I know you are, but like everyone is in some way. It's just like, who is like me that I need to find? I will make videos and I will write until I find them. Does not matter how long it takes. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Weird Earth, dude. I'm like constantly doing the mental gymnastics shit. That's another reason, like advocating for wanting to die. So like if you can imagine those two sides in my brain just like arguing or whatever. Like like well, the arguing itself could be a reason to die, right? I mean, haven't you felt like that too? Like so many mental gymnastics just to justify life. Like I have to justify my life most of the time. I have to justify being in existence, even though it was non-consensual being brought into existence. I don't think I'm mad that I was brought into the world non-consensually, especially because I have like the good genetics side of things. You know what I mean? So I wasn't born with like chronic pain type shit. So I was born with like good RNG, like good luck, you know. But that of course doesn't matter when you take into account the other people, because remember it's all about other people. Like if I had only strictly myself to worry about on this earth, if that were somehow the case, I like to believe that I would just instantly have like the best life possible. You know what I mean? Like, has anyone else ever thought that? Like, have you thought that in your life? Like, if you didn't have anyone else to worry about, you could do anything without having to think about the morality of it, which of course would be freeing, and then you could just live like deeply, and you wouldn't have to care about problems. Easy peasy. Obviously, that would be easy. Um, I don't mind making sacrifices though. Like, you know, this is what I'm supposed to do, and of course, like, uh, I hate being tested. I hate feeling like I'm being tested by like the higher power of existence. You know, it's fucking stupid. It's like, what the fuck is the test for? Like, especially if there's a god orchestrating the test, it's like, well, fuck you, right? Uh, big fuck you, because that's cruelty. You know, if it's just the universe, like with some kind of natural test, then I'm a little bit more accepting of that. In fact, I really like that. In fact, now that I think about it, the original comfort that I got in life when I first started to understand the concept of comfort, um, I think it was just from existence itself. Like, holy shit, that's beautiful as shit, you know? Like, that's real beautiful. And it just came to be somehow. And then, of course, after that, I found a little bit of comfort in God, which ended up being, like, important. Important. Like, that felt good, too. And then I felt several other, like, big sources of comfort throughout my life. I saw a YouTube channel here on YouTube. It was a person who dedicated her channel to deconstructing like religion and just like talking about all kinds of near-death experiences and stuff. And her reasoning was like she has one singular motivation that drives the content she made, and it's that before she was born, she could seemingly feel a sort of bliss. And then she says that, and it's like that's her motivation to just do all this work in life. You know, like how I talk about like work in life. It's just whatever the shit you do in life is that matters to you. And so her motivation is like apparently before she was born she felt bliss. And who am I to say that that's wrong or that you can't feel things before birth? Life is incredibly complex and none of us can really say much of anything with absolute confidence. Um, I feel like what is my motivation then if that's hers? Like maybe mine is like I just saw the evil in the world and it's just like too much, you know? So just something like that. That would be more so my central motivation sentence is like something in the world is bad and therefore it affects all of us. And then there's like this quote that says, "My brother used to ask the birds to forgive him." It sounds ridiculous, but it's fitting because the world is very connected and everything is connected and touching each other like the sea, right? And so a disturbance on one side of the world is felt at the other side of the world, which I like. I like that. But yeah, I'll just talk about one more thing and then I'll end the video. I'll end the video after I talk about one more thing. Um, so I just wrote I called it an audit. So it's just like a little page like here on my computer just to kind of go through what is happening in life. Like kind of write down my values and then see like what is getting in the way of me following them. And then also to like kind of give me some tips like shit to think about. Like, what can I just kind of add to my life to make it better? I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. It probably won't. Again, the point is to try. The point is to try. The point is to try, right? To try to be a good person in a world where, like, if you start noticing the evils, it's gonna like eat you, like actually eat you. But yeah, so just like tips, like how can you like be a human being that is like worth your weight or something? Like how can you justify your existence? I find some comfort in justifying my existence through work, even though I shouldn't have to, and most people just say that I shouldn't in general. I know that I shouldn't have to, but when I sit with my body and stuff and I just look at it and I'm just like, and I eat food and all that crazy shit. Remember how crazy this whole thing is? Like, I feel guilty for eating food. Like, so when I just start to notice all that, I'm just like, nah. Like, I need to do something. Like write a guide for parents to understand and navigate child exploitation risks. Something like that. Or just like write about the truth of like what I'm experiencing, and then somebody somewhere will feel something very, very similar. I just know it based on the world's complexity, based on how many people there are who are kind of similar, like at least in the same general culture. I know that there's somebody. I know that there's multiple people. I'm not gonna stop till I find them. I'm just not. But yeah, and it's just like one of these days, like I could just imagine like making a video with a more enticing title, something like uh I'm or something like why I decided to die, or like why I decided to leave life, or something like that, you know? And I can imagine myself making that. It's just like whether it's scary or depressing or not, I don't know. I don't want to say that it's all kind of depressing because I don't want the evil in the world that I recognize to win. I don't want it to have its power. Um, will I ever leave life? I don't know. Like, you know, listen to how melancholy this sounds. Listen to how sad it is when I start talking about this. I talk about it for the sake of like shining a light on it. Like, I don't care if it's perfect. I don't care if it's sad. I just don't, because I know that there's somebody somewhere who would get value from it. Who would feel less alone because of what I'm doing. That is the motivation. That's it. I think that's it. I think that's it for this video. But yeah, like, and I say this with kind of, I say this, so you're seeing me right now like this. I don't think I'm doing bad today though. I think today is a good day, and life in general is actually pretty good. Despite these things. Because remember, it's like a two-sided coin. It's like, do I want to just like throw this shit away, kind of, or just like change it in a very different sort of way, or do I just want to like try to make an impact, even though I feel like I'm rotting away a lot of the time, you know? So it's just between those, and it's ridiculous, man, but it's okay, because like this is what life is. This is like the authentic, boring, melancholy, weirdness, complexity of life. Like this is the essence of like day-to-day life. And then of course we seek out like the real meaning. Sometimes we get it for free, like just by stepping outside. If you can really feel how good the earth is, how beautiful it is, you can get like joy from that. I'm constantly seeking it over and over again, like I'm a child again. But yeah, like this is the reality of life. And I need more people to connect with. I need to wash my hair probably. Oh my god. Yeah. More people to connect with, more people to care, more people to care about, and more people to fucking care about my shit. So I need to care about people, and they need to care about me. Like, please. And like, we need to turn this ship around because like, there's enough bad in the world. There's enough. There's plenty enough. So let's just do what we can. Like, for real. Like, no waiting. Let's just do something. Thank you for watching and caring. Thank you.